Hello again, race car fans. Today we have a Sparky model of a winner. The Porsche 917K was the winner of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, or LeMans as I like to mispronounce it, of 1970. Alright, let's see if there's anything on the back of this worth reading. No. You would think, like, with that much space, they could write some text about the car or something. That way I don't have to look it all up on the internet. But anyways, alright, so they're going to come out with all sorts of liveries for this car for sure. I used to have this car in 187 scale by a model company called Burkina. It was pretty awesome for 187 scale. But I sold off a lot of my 187 scale collection because I'm a moron. I was moving and just can't bring toys along to a new country. Okay, I'm going to just keep this blister part so I can get it on an airplane and bring it back home safely. What did I learn? This is an awesome race car, by the way. So hopefully the stats I read are correct. Boy, I'm gonna have to cut this even more because of this plastic thing. This car was developed in only 10 months, so that's a pretty fast development time for a car. It was developed based on the Porsche 908. And then it was the first car to give the brand an overall win at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So the drivers of this car that won this race were Hans Hermann and Richard Atwood. It also won the race overall in 1971. And they made 11 different variations of the 917s. Long tails, short tails, some other ones as well. I think the Pink Pig is a variation of the 917, but correct me if I'm wrong. The 917K, this one is actually supposed to be for the shorter road courses, which is not Le Mans, but it still won. This thing had quite a lot of technology going on for its day. We gotta remember, this is back in 1970, so we're talking 50 years ago. This thing had a pressurized gas in its frame to check for cracks. It also had all the engine trimmings, titanium, lightweight alloys to make it lighter. But also the frame tubes themselves are used as the oil piping to the front oil cooler. So that's pretty neat. It's the first it's two flat sixes. I was looking for a screw. One nice thing about Sparky, they don't do that. Two flat sixes made it together, and that became Porsche's first flat 12. It's supposed to have around 630 horsepower, and in order to try to keep the thing relatively short, the driver's feet were ahead of the front axle. And I think even the later 956 did that, but that's deemed dangerous. If you get into an accident and your feet are ahead of your axle, you're going to lose your feet, most likely. Okay, Steve Mcqueen, an old famous actor, he made a movie called Le Mans. And in 2017, the car from that movie sold for $14 million, which at the time was a record for a Porsche. Alright, what else? A couple more things. 25 of the 917s were built, but the 917K, K means Kurzcheck or short tail, I'm assuming in German, and only 12 of them were built. So this is one of 12 917Ks out there, or I'm sure they're not all around today. And that is what I learned quite a bit, but this is a real historic race car. I like Le Mans in principle, to drive around for 24 hours. Even if there's 2 or 3 drivers, that's at least an 8-hour driving shift, right? Or a couple shifts. In this year, there's only 2 drivers, right? So those guys raced for 12 hours. So if you've ever actually raced anything competitively, or even just gone to the racetrack to see what your vehicle can do, it's very, very mind taxing. Not only do you have to be in relative shape to handle all the G's and stuff, but it's a big mental thing to go around with a bunch of other vehicles and stuff like that, so that's why I respect, the 24 Hours of Le Mans so much. Much more than F1. F1's crazy too, of course, with so much traffic, but they're not racing for 24 hours, right? So that's also a testament to the durability of a brand's vehicles. Alright, enough of that. Let's look at this side view. Look at these wheels, they look pretty nice. Sad I didn't bring up a photo of the wheels sitting still, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say those are maybe realistic. I don't know, you'll have to look up some photos on your own. Let me get this thing closer to me. I have this big board in front of my face because the monitor is so reflective. Instead of you guys seeing me, you'll see a reflection of a black board. But I guess in the way of my arms. Alright, well, it looks like Sparky in the past used to use a lot of decals. Is this a decal? Oh, darn it, it still is. The tell is, you know, look at the panel gaps. So, let me just try to zoom in on this guy. This panel gap right here, you can see there's a clear piece of film going over the air, right? Or I pushed it in a little bit. So this whole white stripe here, these 3 white stripes on each side, or 4 or 5 white stripes, they're all decal. They look nice and all. I'm just afraid, you know, in the future, is this decal gonna crack? Is it gonna yellow? Because that kind of stuff does happen to decals. Alright, getting past that, it does look nice. You know, all the graphics look really sharp and all that stuff, as they should be, being a decal. And they're all present, none are torn or anything like that. This doesn't roll, by the way. There's absolutely no movement at all in these wheels. They seem to be actually rubbing the die-cast. Alright, let's go to the rear end because there's supposed to be some interesting details. You got the tube frame there. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good on the initial impressions. I guess those big round things are the exhausts. Yeah, looking at the photo. And they're, you know, they look a little bit bigger on this model, of course, because the tube has to be a certain thickness. But there's some like differential detail, that cross brace there connecting the exhaust to the diff. I don't know what that, maybe this, I'm not sure what this thing would be. Oh, there's a fan maybe up here? Nope, it's not even there. The fan's up there. Maybe that's a spare wheel, but where's the tire? See, it looks like a 5-spoke up in there, but it kind of makes no sense because the tire is so small. I'm not sure why that is. The taillights are painted nicely. Some sort of, I don't know, these silver things, some sort of strut system maybe to adjust the wings or something. The tire treads look pretty nice. They look very old school and they're very wide, so that's nice. Why is there, what the heck is this? It's a black decal here. I couldn't find a rear photo of the red car, so I'm not sure why that's there. But I do kind of see it on that rear of the Golf car too. Although it's not, this decal isn't flat. I'm out of curiosity, let's just go to the bottom here. Some indication of that flat 12. So I kind of feel like, you know, obviously it's all in line with the longitudinal mounting here, but you'll see the exhaust pipes going that way and this way. So right here in the middle, they must be joining the two assemblies together. And then there's probably a whole bunch of gears and stuff like that to run the camshafts above it and all that stuff. Just theorizing, I have no real idea. Sadly, the front tires are flatted out. They're squished down too much. And then it's got some brake duct molding here. That might be the first diecast I have where they actually show the brake ducts going somewhere. Interesting. I do like this mounting system that, you know, Sparky uses. What I'm not a big fan of is they rivet the bodies together. You know, in the event that something went wrong or you want to, for some reason, modify this thing, you'd have to drill it apart the way it is now. Alright, let's go with the top side. Oh boy, see that now this decal's just covering this whole giant NACA duct. So that's pretty bad. I mean, if I press that down, it's going to crack. So it's just kind of not realistic, right? To have a floating white stripe over a vent. See? How is that realistic? Sparky, come on, man. You guys need to move to tampo printing. This is just really weird now. It's nice that that silver thing has paint on it. Maybe that's a fuel filler. Okay, well, the side glass here is some gold printing for like probably a sliding window. There's a red racing seat in there, or actually two, because one's vestigial. So the one nearer us is the vestigial seat, it's racing rules, and the one further away is the actual driver's seat. We got a little wiper blade molded in, painted black, raised, looks pretty good. Also some black trim around the windscreen is printed on nicely. There's that steering wheel. It's not centered because, again, you have to have a two-seater in these race cars. I'm not sure if that's the case with the most recent ones. I don't really follow the racing yet. So, okay, well anyways, you can see this 23 decal going down into that vent, but there's a bit of a wrinkle there. The headlights look pretty nice. I mean, there's literally molded details, painted silver and a black bucket, and then the lens itself is clear and has a black border for the molding. So the vents up here front, you got some ribbing here in the main one, and then those brake duct ones. Let's get out a little bit and see. Now they're pretty shallow at a different angle I saw. I mean, they're pretty deep, I guess, but at a certain angle you can see there is a back, and they're just, it's nice that they're painted black though. That's good. Okay, so pretty nice, except for the decal thing. These vents here, I don't know if that's black paint or part of the decal work. I feel like that might be black paint. Hard to say. Hard to say. This side of the car, any defects? So you can see the decal here. It's not really wrapping the fender inside here, so it's literally now touching the tire. So that's not nice either. Yeah, same with the back fender well, right? See how that white stripe is just floating in the air right there? That should be in more, right? So that's weak. I think yeah. So that's too bad. Alright, there's the driver's seat. You can see some ribbing there as well. The steering wheel's nice. It's spoked and all that stuff. And there's the fan above the engine, painted yellow. Looks nice. It actually looks like a wheel. And then it's just got a red cover for the engine. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. But, alright. Well, I guess it's nice. Let's get it up on the spin thing here. I switched the light on the right side, so I don't need to have a flashlight powering the solar power spinner thing here anymore, so that's good. Why can't I focus on this thing? I'm having to focus repeatedly. I'm not sure if this car is in focus. Well, it has face tracking mode on, and I see this box moving. Maybe I should turn that off. Hold on one second. No, I can't do it while it's recording, so I may have messed this video up. I'm trying to figure out this new phone for me. Alright guys, well, this is a nice model except for the decal. That's the only criticism I really have. It overall looks quite nice. It's just that the floating stripes over those NACA ducts is going to be problematic. The floating decals in the wheel wells is just weird looking. And then in 10 years, I don't know if this thing's just going to be a complete trash or not, with the decals cracking or whatever, or falling off even. Only time will tell there. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next review. Bye.